Hello, everybody. Welcome to this class. Today is the second class in our course. So today we have a few topics. It's all under the fundamental of testing. So here is the outlines. First, we'll start with the history of the software, and then software quality, which is the software quality and the relation between the software quality and the software testing. Then we'll go through software testing principles. There is some principles every software tester should know it. And then there is some 8 dimension of the software quality to measure the software quality. Also, we have some definitions, the fault, error, failure, and validation and verifications. And then we'll end with the software with testability. Yes, so here is the output of today's class. So by the end of this lecture, you should be able to know what's the software quality and understand the principle of the software testing. Also distinguish between the fault, error, and failure. And also distinguish between the validation and verifications. And the end, the guidelines of software of the testability. The guidelines of testability. So let's get started. First, it's the history of the softwares. So first of all, why the software testing is changed over the time? Actually, the software testing is changed over the time because the software itself, the program itself, the system is changed. So as you know, previously, maybe the person who can write a simple program, a few codes of program, we can consider it as expert. Previously, I'm talking about the 80 and 70. So in that times, it was only a few. So first of all, why the software testing or the history of the software testing is changed? Why the methods that use in the software testing is changed by that over the times? Because actually the system itself, the software itself, it changes. Okay, previously in the 50s and 60s, the person who able to write simple programs, a few number of codes, if you can consider it as experts. You can consider it as expert, but now the machines can write hundreds of lines only by one click of button. So that's why the software testing also it changed over the times. So the first periods, which is from 50 to 60, actually in that time, actually it's only testing is debugging. The testing is debugging. So if the software it's work well, there is no problem, there is no faults. So we can say this is it's pass. So there it's very simple things. We just check if there is any errors. So then it's identify this error and remove it. Then we come to the second period, which is from the 60 to 90. In that times, the testing and debugging it's become two activities or two separate things. So there we not only identify the bug and solve it. No, we have also another activity which is debuggings. So the second period, which is from 60 to 90. So in this period, actually, this thing it can be viewed as two separate activities, debugging and testing. So in the debugging, actually, just to ensure that the system is doesn't crash. So there is no error in the system. While the testing, The testing, it's ensure that the system do what it's supposed to do. So here the functionality of the system also it's considered. In the third period, which is in the beginning of the AT, so they start apply something we call it is destructive approach. So what this destructive approach, actually they test the software not only with valid input, but also with some invalid input. Then we see what the response of the system. So not just see the, okay, the system, it's if we have a system, for example, for calculating 2 plus 3, it will also, it's print out the sum, for example, 5, not just try the numbers, for example, it's 2 and 3. Maybe we just also try some invalid input, for example, we can key in some string from something like special characters or another else. In the fourth stage, which is starting from AT, here they apply something, the evaluation oriented. So what's mean by evaluation oriented? So we have different stage of software development life cycles. So in each this stage, there is evaluation phase. There is evaluation phase in each phase. So we have some output of this phase. So we have to check this or evaluate this output. This is what we call it is the evaluation oriented testing. And the third one actually is, or the last one is after 19. So in this actually try to preference the errors, preference the defects in the whole system,